Good evening. Once again, we are coming to you on this NTA News Special News Extra this Wednesday. We will bring you the latest on harvesting on the giant strides of the federal government's agricultural transformation program. The Federal Executive Council approves rice mills to be sited in 10 states. Also from the highest policy implementation body in the land, we shall be bringing the latest action to tackle Ebola virus disease and plans by schools to respond to it when they reopen. On politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission makes it clear that the proposed creation of additional 30,000 polling units has nothing to do with the sectional interests. And the last is yet to be heard on creation of states, because democratic aspirations and desires are part of fundamental rights and privileges. We shall also take you to other parts of the country like Lagos, Yola, Katsina, Minna, and Enugu. I'm Funke Oga, your host on this extra news package. Welcome. The Federal Executive Council has approved the establishment of integrated medium-scale rice mills and 6 cassava flour mills spread across the country. This formed part of the decisions taken by the Council today. State House correspondent Shegun Lawole reports.
It was an extensive discussion by the Council, presided over by President Jonathan, on boosting rice and cassava production towards not only self-sufficiency in food production, but adding value for export. From 1 rice mill in 2011 to 18 mills today, the country still does not have enough capacity to process and mill rice due to the tons of paddy rice being produced by farmers, put at additional 7 million rice per annum. With a total capacity of 360,000 metric tons, the mills will be spread across 10 states, while the 6 high-quality cassava flour mills will also be established in 6 states of the Federation. They are to be owned by the private sector with support from the Bank of Industry.
What we need are integrated rice mills that have parboiling systems that can buy the paddy, process that into a finished rice that therefore benefits our farmers all across the value chain to the table. That's what we want. And
as part of the ongoing expansion of power supply across the country, the federal government has approved a contract for the engineering, the design and establishment of a power substation in Maiduguri, Borno State, at a cost of $2.2 million and to be completed within 12 months.
Today, Council approved additional construction of a 1x60 MVA, 132 33 kV transformer to Maiduguri, precisely Baga Road substation. And that substation is in existence since 1976. That's almost about 40 years. And it has been overloaded.
And this is part of the transnational project to improve power supply through the provision of infrastructure, particularly transmission infrastructure, power substations, to stabilize power supply to parts of the country.
And following the approval given by the ECOWAS heads of state and government in Yamoussoukro, Côte d'Ivoire in March this year, the Federal Executive Council endorsed the request for the ratification of the treaty on the establishment of Abidjan-Lagos corridor, a regional highway by 5 ECOWAS states, and expected to be domesticated by each state.
So we did Abidjan-Lagos corridor project, which we have a supranational status. Nigerians will be able to really boost our trade in terms of regional trade in the sub-region. In other words, all the good work that is going on in the various sectors of our economy, in the agriculture, manufacturing, industries, and the mining sector, we will now be able to take advantage of the regional integration in the sub-region to really take over a commanding share of the ECOWAS market.
The Council also approved the provision of instruments of ratification by the Attorney General of the Federation. In the State House, Shegun Lawole, NTA News.
The newly established Presidential Board on job creation has been inaugurated by President Goodluck Jonathan. The 31-member board, a mix of the public and private sectors, including ministers, has 12 months to create 3 million jobs. Again, Segun Lawole reports.
Largest workforce in the world. And this is why job creation remains a top priority, as explained by President Jonathan when inaugurating the Presidential Job Board. The board, 31 in number, comprises a mix of the public and the private sector, including ministers who are directly and indirectly involved in job creation over the years. President Jonathan reaffirmed his administration's commitment not only to constantly make policies, but also create incentives to reduce job creation.
At the onset of this administration, we made a commitment to ourselves and the Nigerian people that we will work to ensure the transformation of Nigeria, not just in words, but in deed. We made that commitment to tackle some of those difficult issues that had lingered in our country for years. And very firmly, we have made further commitments to do our utmost to leave a people-beneficial legacy on our nation, no matter how difficult that may be.
The president expressed his reservation over the continued training of young Nigerians by government agencies and departments without immediate employment.
That if you are training, don't just come and tell us we train 1,000 people, 100 people. How many of them are either self-employed or are gainfully employed? Of course, that is the task of this board. Their job is how are we going to create jobs for the people.
Vice President Namadi Sambo is the chairman of the board.
Your Excellency, the Presidential Job Board, I would like to assure you, will be driven by a strong vision and clear mission, as per your statement. And the vision shall be to realize continued and sustainable economic growth in Nigeria that is rooted in shared prosperity and expanded opportunity for all.
Kenya created over 700,000 jobs in 1 year. Kenya is a quarter the size of our population. We can do that. What has encouraged us as private sector to be part of this is, as I said before, the transformation initiatives of this government.
We are also, as you know, looking simultaneously at ensuring that Nigeria has gas for industrialization, that we bring in the petrochemical plants you're hearing about now, methanol plants, that we begin to move very aggressively into LPG. You can imagine the number of jobs just LPG will create, not just the logistics part of the business.
The Presidential Job Board is expected to create 3 million jobs in 12 months. In the State House, Segun Lawole, NTA News.
President Goodluck Jonathan has directed the immediate removal of the Bring Back Jonathan 2015 signs and banners around Abuja. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Dr. Ruben Abati, said in a statement that the signs were offensive and repugnant to Jonathan and many Nigerians. The statement noted that the president wholly shares the widely expressed view that the signs which were put up without his knowledge or approval are a highly insensitive parody of the Bring Back Our Girls tag, pointing out that he appreciates the enthusiastic show of support for his administration by a broad range of stakeholders. He condemns the Bring Back Jonathan 2015 signs, which appear to make light of the very serious national and global concern for the abducted Chibok girls. The president assures all Nigerians and the international community that his administration remains fully engaged with efforts to rescue the abducted girls, and that he would not knowingly promote any actions that will fly in the face of the seriousness of their plight and the anguish of their families. Vibrant Transformation Awareness and Leadership Development Initiative has reiterated its support for the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan, describing it as a laudable achievement. The national coordinator of the group, Senator Saidu Umar Kumo, said that these were distributing 3 branded vehicles for grassroots mobilization of support for the continuity of Mr. President.
The Vital D is an organization that has carefully observed the excellent leadership qualities of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and Architect Nambadi Sambo, and have resolved to throw our full support behind the transformation agenda of Mr. President and Architect Nambadi Sambo as a single ticket, and the PDP as our party.
The coordinator revealed that national rallies will soon commence from the northern part of the country. And now, if you are one of those thinking the issue of state creation is closed, you have another thing coming. Because no less than the person of the Senate President, David Mark, has restated his resolve to pursue the quest for the creation of more states to its logical conclusion. That one is with a resolve. He stated these resolve when members of his constituency, Benue South Senatorial District, came calling on him. Aisha Zango Abdullahi was there. Aisha, tell us more.
Those interested will still remember that the creation of Upper State out of the present Benue has been on the minds of the Idomas for a while now. But the issue at hand for the visitors was for the Senate President to respond to the call of his constituency to contest the Benue Zone C senatorial seat next year. The Senate President responded to us.
I'll put in all that I can, my last breath, if that is what is required, to make sure that Upper State, as well as other states that deserve to be created, are created.
Leader of the delegation and chairman of Gbadibo local government in Benue, Sunday Adaojo, said their visit is a result of intense pressure from the people and opinion leaders of the zone for the Senate President to continue with the good work he is doing in the Senate.
We are here to tell Nigeria that the Idoma nation have no other person to give them quality representation as you have done.
On behalf of women from Zone C, I want to assure you that we are solidly behind you.
The delegation included 9 local government chairmen from Benue South Senatorial District and 4 members of the House of Representatives. Senator Mark, however, cautioned aspirants to political offices to base their campaigns on issues that will positively impact on the citizenry. From the National Assembly, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
Thank you, Aisha. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party will continue to accord youths priority to enable them to be more relevant in the scheme of affairs of the nation. The national chairman of the PDP, Alhaji Amadu Adamu Mwazu, said this when he granted audience to the PDP National Youth Group in Abuja. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
The national chairman of the PDP commended the initiative of the group to complement government and the party in empowering the youth. He gave an assurance that the People's Democratic Party will support their project.
The leadership of the party at the national and at the various states will continue to collaborate and cooperate with you so that you achieve your desired results. This is an election year. The fact that we need youth and women, with youth and women and the Almighty God on our side, I know we are the winners overwhelmingly.
The coordinator of the PDP National Youth Rural Empowerment and Peace Advocacy Project, Mr. Solomon Godwin Bamola, says the mega agricultural project titled Youth Back to Farm will provide more job opportunities. 2 people are now in Israel, while some will be in Egypt to learn more on agriculture, particularly farming.
Our major tag is Youth Back to Farm. And the youth will go back to farm and put food on all Nigerian table so that Nigeria can be at peace, thereby creating some job opportunity in the rural area for all our youth. And we call it a mega agricultural villages.
The group promised to also mobilize more support for the People's Democratic Party as the 2015 election draws nearer. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest Zone have also restated their support for President Goodluck Jonathan ahead of 2015 election. This was at the end of their meeting, which took place in Abuja.
Southwest PDP is going to be strongly supportive of the aspirations of Mr. President.
The People's Democratic Party Southwest leaders and members
say they have already keyed into the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan and will continue to mobilize more support if he declares for the 2015 elections. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
After that, let's hear the good news from the All Progressives Congress, APC. Its national chairman, Chief John Odigoyego, has assured those aspiring to contest elections under its platform of level playing ground in the primaries. He stated this at the presentation of certificates to APC candidates in the Adamawa gubernatorial election. Senator Muhammad Jibril Abindo. Correspondent Abdullahi Garba Benunkudu reports.
The national chairman describes the Adamawa primary election as a pointer to the internal democracy prevailing in the APC. This, is added, will be applied at all levels to ensure the people's choice emerge.
But since I became, through your doing, national chairman of this party, I have insisted that there must be a level playing ground for all contests within the party.
The candidate attributes his success to support from party leaders, particularly the leader of Adamawa APC, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He promised to allow his experience to bear if elected with special focus on security.
In the Senate, as God may have it, I'm the Vice Chairman Committee on Defense and Army. So I know where the problems are, I know where to go, I know those people that I can contact and help us.
Senator Jibril Abindo represents Adamawa North in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Benunkudu, NTA News.
And the Southern Nigeria People's Assembly has ended its two-day emergency meeting with a communique calling on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to rescind its decision to create additional 30,000 polling units across the country, stressing that it was not necessary since it is close to 2015 general election. Correspondent Edino Justice, who has been following the group, brings us the details.
The Southern Nigerian People's Assembly meeting, which started Tuesday evening and lasted till early hours of Wednesday, specifically deliberated on the INEC's decision to create additional polling units across the country.
The members, comprising of elders from the three geopolitical zones of Southeast, Southwest, South-South, having met all night, resolved as follows.
One other fundamental reason they gave for the call to conduct the next general election on the existing 120,000 polling units instead of the proposed 150,000 polling units was that the processes of the creation were not based on any known data.
Rules of election are not changed or altered 1 year before elections to preserve the integrity of the electoral process.
The group also expressed fears that there is no justification for additional polling units since the recent automated fingers identification system, AFIS, shows a reduction of registered voters from 73 million to 57 million. The Assembly has Chief Edwin Clark as its coordinating chairman, with former Vice President Alex Ekweme as the co-chair and Senator Femi Okonromo as a leader from the Southwest. Edino Justice, NTA News.
And moving from political parties affairs, another matter of urgent importance to Nigerians is voting on election days come 2015. The Independent National Electoral Commission says the proposed creation of additional 30,000 polling units nationwide is to decongest them, enhance smooth electoral process in 2015 and beyond. At a media briefing in Abuja, INEC Chairman Professor Tahiru Jega faltered insinuations in certain quarters that the exercise is to favor a section of the country. Correspondent Abdullahi Garba Benunkudu reports.
Nigeria's current polling units of about 120,000 was created in 1996 when the country's population was estimated at 140 million. Advanced reasons for the need for more polling units, Professor Jega says the current population of more than 170 million Nigerians and more than 70 million registered voters overstretch the polling units, with some having more than 700 voters. Added to this, is a demographical shifts and improper locations that affect the electoral process.
You will find that on average in the FCT, there are nearly 1,400 voters per polling unit, with some having over 3,000, and in fact one of them with over 4,000 registered voters.
The INEC chairman denounced insinuations of sectional favoritism as polling units do not bring political advantage.
Additional 30,027 polling units, as I have mentioned, are being created to address the issue of crowd clusters under the present structure. Therefore, the distribution could not be even among all the states because the challenge being addressed is not evenly present in all the states. There is no political advantage in the creation of polling unit to any individual, to any party, or to any region.
There is no way you can detach issues of electoral matters with politics, but INEC chairman advised Nigerians to avoid over-politicizing issues, especially to do with electoral matters. What is needed, he says, is sincerity of purpose, especially as INEC is working towards perfecting the electoral process in 2015. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Bruno Kudu, NTA News.
And as the 2015 election draws closer, media practitioners have been challenged to bring their professionalism and ethics to bear as their contribution to free, fair, and credible election. This was the thrust of a two-day workshop organized by the United Nations Development Programme and the Radio, Television, and Theatre Arts Workers Union holding in Abuja. Correspondent Ruben Okala packaged the report.
The workshop, powered by Democratic Governance for Development Project, is for members of Ratau in the northeast and northwest of the country. The forum is x-raying how professionals can prepare themselves to face the challenges of broadcasting the election process without compromising standards.
Presenting the program in such a way that it will conform with the regulations as per the election in this country. So basically it's to sharpen their skills so that they will be in tune with the electoral processes.
With this, a lot of mistakes that have been made before will be corrected come 2015.
Fortunately, there's an attempt to polarize the media, and that is where we think that the media has to stand up and remember that they have a responsibility to the country to uphold the integrity, the unity of the country, the stability of the polity, rather than to individuals or sectional interests.
Other issues for deliberation include ownership interference and its consequences, electronic media and election awareness, as well as managing the broadcast media during elections.
Building of strong institutions, reorientation of the citizenry, and emphasis on core national values are sure ways of solving Nigeria's political and social-economic challenges. This was the consensus of the governors of Lagos and Jigawa states in a political debate organized by the Kuka Center in Abuja. Correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the debate has its theme as Fixing Nigeria, the Nuts and Bolts.
The debate between Governor Babatunde Fashola of Lagos State and his Jigawa State counterpart, Alhaji Sule Lamido, moderated by Bishop Matthew Kuka, identified human factor as a major challenge facing the country. The governors, in their separate views, pointed out that political leaders at all levels should continually interface with the people to identify their needs and provide them. They challenged leaders to build strong institutions devoid of corruption through the maintenance of law and order, implementation of a workable tax system, adequate support to industrialization, and formation of good policies as panacea for achieving goals of national development.
Organizational ability to put Nigeria back on track, make it efficient, is perhaps the best way to sum up the challenges that we have to deal with. Of course, they disaggregate into so many other things.
Government is an institution. What do you define as government? In Nigeria, in the last 25 years, the meaning of government and governance has diminished. It has no meaning. because the government, citizens must have rights.
The debaters, however, agreed that to fix the identified problems of Nigeria, a new roadmap should be drawn for Nigeria as a country and as a people to trace her steps back to the highly revered national values for the socio-economic development of the country. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
PDP stakeholders in Nasarawa State have been invited for a meeting preparatory to the North Central Rally of the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria in support of President Goodluck Jonathan. Those to attend the meeting are all former PDP governors in the state, the deputy governor and former deputy governors, all serving and former PDP legislators in the state houses of assembly, all former ministers, all ambassadors, all members of the state working committee of the PDP, serving and former chairman of local governments, and all aspirants for elective offices on the platform of the PDP in Nasarawa State. Date, Thursday, 11th September 2014. Venue, Kine Country Hotel along Jos Road, Akwanga, Nasarawa State. Time is 12 noon. President Goodluck Jonathan has commended the Esama of Benin Kingdom, Chief Gabriel Ibenedion, for his life of uncommon accomplishments. A statement by presidential spokesman Ruben Abati says, this is contained in a congratulatory letter to the Esama on his 80th birthday coming up tomorrow. President Jonathan praised his trailblazing achievements in several fields of human endeavor, a life of uncommon accomplishments, and enduring fulfillment, as well as remaining faithful to the rich cultural heritage of the revered Benin Kingdom, of which he is one of the most senior chiefs. The president wished Chief Ibenedion happy celebrations and prayed God to continue to guide the Esama. As Nigerians await the 22nd September date for reopening of schools, delayed as a result of the outbreak of Ebola, correspondent examines issues raised by stakeholders. These are more reports after the break. Do stay with us.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Your account is too low for this call.
Never get stranded with MTN Extra Time. You can now borrow airtime and pay back at your next recharge. Dial *606# now to enjoy the new MTN Extra Time.
MTN, everywhere you go. He builds schools all over the country. He is giving free education to over 10,000 poor children. Born an Igbo man, raised in the north and empowered by the west. He believes in the unity of Nigeria. He is compassionate. He transformed Imo in 3 years. Every day, he thinks about the people. Owele Rochas Okorocha, Senior Advocate of the Nigerian masses and Commander of Free Education, come to the rescue. This message is from Nigeria Rescue Group.
I used to actively protect my family from malaria, but I could never kill 100% mosquitoes. That one mosquito always keeps coming back stronger.
One mosquito bite can cause malaria.
I will not tolerate even one more mosquito in my house, because now I have Mortein Power Guard.
Mortein Power Guard, with a scientifically proven powerful formula, kills 100% mosquito.
Not even one mosquito will escape with my Mortein.
Mortein kills 100% mosquitoes.
We are all Nigerites. Our cultural diversity defines our unity. You are part of a formation of building a solid foundation for the attainment of a long-term vision of a great Niger, the power state, our peaceful home. Let us unite together to build this industrialized state, an investor-friendly destination of Nigeria. Niger State, the land of vast agricultural resources, a place where every child must go to school, ensuring easy movement and safety of pupils, equipped with standard health facilities and green environment. Our vision determines our society. Support our great leader, the Chief Servant, in actualizing our shared Vision 3-2020. This message is from Servant Leadership Group.
Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to act. And my mom always told me that staying healthy was the first step towards achieving a great acting career. I've been everything from a baker to a politician, and that's just in real life. But the role I'm most proud of is mother to my children and the girls in the community project that I founded. I could never have achieved all this without keeping healthy every day with Dettol. And to be 100% sure that my children achieve success in their life, I trust Dettol, so they don't miss a single day of good health. Dettol has protected Nigeria against illness and germs for 50 years, right from the time I was a little princess on stage to today.
Dettol, maximum protection against germs every day.
And maybe they should just call me Mama D.
Over the last 25 years, one diversified industrial group has risen as a giant on the Nigerian and sub-Saharan economic landscape. This is the BUA Group, from operating ports and terminals in Port Harcourt to our cement plant in Edo and Sokoto states, to successfully operating the second largest sugar refinery in Africa, as well as one of the biggest vegetable oil refineries in West Africa. At the BUA Group, we also produce the finest quality flour in our world-class mills in Lagos and Kano states, in addition to our pasta manufacturing facility. We have also diversified into building numerous made and high-end housing estates across the nation. Construction is currently underway at our new sugar, semolina, flour and pasta plants in Port Harcourt. Our new state-of-the-art cement development factory in Edo State is almost at its commissioning stage. We are the BUA Group, unlocking opportunities across our nation since 1988.
Chioma, I bet you can touch your nose with your thumb.
A nose?
It's the same with your toilet. There are many places in your toilet that detergents cannot clean. That is why the new Harpic 5 times complete gives you 5 times better cleaning than detergent from the rim all the way to the U-bend, making your toilet completely clean. With Harpic 5 times complete, you will definitely reach all the hard-to-clean places in your toilet.
Harpic Power Plus. Buy now for only 350 Naira.
It's good to have you back on NTA News Extra. The federal government has called for continued vigilance as it makes good progress in containing the spread of Ebola virus disease in the country. This came from the Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, while updating the Federal Executive Council on Ebola virus disease status in the country. State House correspondent Shegun Lawali reports.
Update by the Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, on Ebola virus disease in Nigeria was precipitated by the need to avoid speculations and rumors on the country's status, as directed by Mr. President. To date, the minister, after updating the council, informed the State House correspondents that the total number of cases treated in government facilities, both in Lagos and Port Harcourt, stands at 10.
At the present time, the two isolation wards that have been active in Lagos State and Rivers State, respectively, are empty. We don't have anybody now we are treating actively for Ebola virus disease as at this moment.
Only 16 contacts, it said, remained under surveillance in Lagos, while 490 contacts in Port Harcourt are still under surveillance. On the school's new resumption date of September 23rd, the minister says it was based on experts' advice before government took the decision to reverse the date.
We are not perfect, but I know we are trying to encourage everybody in Nigeria to collaborate. We don't need to close the world. We don't need to say nobody should go to work in Nigeria. There's absolutely no reason, and I will tell you the reasons. First, unlike other countries, there's no community transmission of the disease in Nigeria, not one yet. I repeat, there's no community transmission of the disease in Nigeria, unlike other countries. But we have taken precautions. What we are doing, we may have said everybody should just be moving about this business, but we are taking just precautions.
The rumored cases from Zaria, Sokoto, Kebbi, Lagos, Ibadan, and Delta State, he says, were not true. However, that of a female student of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, remains a suspect.
We moved the patient to Lagos because we haven't really had any treatment center or anything in Ile-Ife. So we just decided to move the case in a special ambulance. So that student, it's a female student, is already quarantined in Lagos, but we have not completed investigation. That's why I cannot announce anything.
So far, we are hopeful that this virus will be defeated, and that is the more reason why we should lower the tempo of rumors in the media.
In the State House, Segun Lawole, NTA News.
When the federal government shifted the reopening of primary and secondary schools to 13th of October, Nigerians clapped, but unfortunately, the resumption date was brought forth to the 22nd of this month. Since then, there have been divided opinions among Nigerians on the resumption date. Franca Uzoma Olua examines the level of preparedness of some schools to prevent the Ebola virus disease.
This is the LEA Primary School, Aleita, FCT, Abuja, still on holiday mood, except for Wasiu Babalola, who came from Ibadan to spend the holiday in Abuja with his brother, Aziz.
Because of Ebola.
What is Ebola?
I don't know.
Even the LEA Primary School, Aleita, does not seem to know the meaning of the Ebola virus disease, given the poor sanitary condition of the school. One of the key response materials in the Ebola virus disease is water. Then one wonders if this small source of water supply will be sufficient for all the pupils in this school when the school eventually reopens. Meanwhile, some parents have reacted to the 22nd September resumption date.
I know before the government start taking this step of bringing back the date, they never foresaw that the issue in Rivers State will crop up. But right now that we are having this problem, I believe that there is need for us to tread cautiously and make sure that this epidemic is fought to the letter before we talk about resumption.
I expect that every head of a school should be aware of what is happening and should put in place, if it was his position as head of that school, he should put in place necessary measures to ensure that the children are safe.
Losing children, parents will not be happy. So let's give them time. The government is doing the best they can.
Let them, after the Salah, if possible, they can resume the resumption of the school.
On the part of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, the environment is not safe yet for parents to release their children to school.
Assuming you want the students to come back so that you get money and pay your teachers and do your business, whatever, and in the end, the scourge enters your school, it is that same school that will be abandoned for the next so many sessions. No parent wants to send his own child to that school that was infected.
But the Minister of Education, Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, had assured Nigerians of the safety and well-being of their children in schools.
Proprietors of schools, public and private, to use this opportunity to revisit and rebuild the school health program.
For the Nigeria Union of Teachers, the Ebola virus disease is a case of life and death that may result to immediate disaster in schools if it is not well handled. From the National Teachers House, Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
Residents of Maiduguri have built a strong confidence to stay in once thriving metropolis and continue with their usual activities. This is in spite of rumors of impending insurgency attacks, and this is assuring to trance those terrorists and others who plan to make life unbearable for good citizens. Correspondent Pauline Kujevana has more.
Following intensified attacks on some major towns of Borno State in recent times by insurgents, rumor of impending attack on Maiduguri, the state capital, filled the air some days ago. The fear has now subsided as people continue with their normal activities.
People should have confidence, military to reinforce themselves, and at the end we will see victory.
A visit to motor parks within Maiduguri metropolis revealed that the rate at which people travel out of the town for fear of impending attacks by insurgents has dropped significantly.
I want Nigerian. I'm not going running away. I'm just going on a business trip.
Recounting the situation a few days ago, Manager Borno Express Transport Corporation, Mohammed Nasiru Askira, said they had to contend with large number of commuters traveling out of Maiduguri based on the rumor of an impending attack on the ancient city of Maiduguri.
As God would have it, the military have done its best. They have succeeded in repelling them away and instilled a little bit of confidence in the people.
Realizing that fear kills faster than death, Maiduguri residents have vowed to remain vigilant, prayerful, and support government's commitments to end the insurgency. In Maiduguri, Pauline.
For the federal government's adopted draft policy on child labor to function effectively, experts have called for a clear-cut demarcation between child labor and child work. The experts made the call today on NTA Breakfast program, Good Morning Nigeria. Timothy Yusuf now brings us an excerpt.
Official.
Sincerely apologize for that. We bring you back in the course of the bulletin. Equitable participation of women in politics and governance is essential to building and sustaining democracy. This forms the thrust of discussions at a 3-day leadership training for women in politics holding in Abuja. Kemi Fake reports that the program was organized by Women in Politics Forum. Her report.
Comprising over 50% of the world's population, women have continued to be underrepresented as voters, political leaders, and elected officials. Investigations showed that this is due to some hindrances, which range from financial to socio-cultural. Participants at the forum said the time has come for Nigerian women to be actively involved in the nation's governance in spite of the challenges.
With the media, women are underreported. Let them report more on women. And women, like the campaign I'm starting, Women for Women, irrespective of your political party. We're not enough in individual parties to make that impact.
We want women outside, the market women, different groups, to understand that for us, it's very important to support a credible woman anywhere we find one.
The resource person, Mrs. Obinwanko, stressed the need for gender mainstreaming as a tool for achieving affirmative action for women in politics.
And we are hoping that with this new dispensation, political parties will be able to mainstream gender into their activities, mainstream gender into their structures, gender equality into their structures, to ensure that majority, because I think women are in the majority in this country, that those voices that have been so excluded, so neglected, and so marginalized will be brought into the equation this time.
The program is sponsored by the United Nations Development Programme, the European Union, Department of Trade and Foreign Affairs Canada, as well as UK Aid. In Abuja, Kemi Fakeye, NTA News.
Nigerians are assured of laws that conform with modern realities as steps are taken to review the nation's obsolete laws. This is the stand of discussants on NTA Tuesday Live, as they say that the 1900 English statutes inherited are somehow outdated. Talatu Ezerike reports.
Discussants say there are widespread agitations for a review of the pre-1900 English laws being practiced in the country on grounds that most of them do not conform with present realities, and more so that England has reviewed its own laws over time. Development, they say, necessitated a synergy of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission and the National Assembly to review, among others, some of the laws governing the running of the nation's economy. Of most important is the Sales of Goods Laws, which was enacted in England in 1893 to be reviewed to boost trade and investment.
The 1893 Sales of Goods Act, although some of the states have domesticated that, but at the federal level it has remained so without any amendment at all.
The way transactions used to take place in those days has changed drastically from the way business transactions take place today. It has become necessary to redefine, for instance, the marketplace.
We want provisions that will make the relationship of buying and selling smooth, without much disputes.
Other issues raised include if the review will cover the Land Use Act, the environmental law, elimination of undue delays in judgment delivery, and also on what is on ground to address unfair treatment of contract workers.
To ensure how well can an average Nigerian be protected? How well can somebody who is not the question of whether you having a connection or whatever. There must be a template where everyone is protected.
The discussion is coming against the background of review of outdated laws in Abuja. Talatu Ezerike, NTA News.
A few days ago, the world focused on issues bordering on literacy amongst citizens in commemoration of the International Literacy Day. From Lagos, Jane Ojukwu takes a look at efforts towards reducing the rate of illiteracy, especially amongst adults, the challenges and ways forward.
Post-literacy class of the Adult Literacy Center, Department of Adult Education, UNILAG. Some of the learners in this class couldn't read and write before they joined, but now they can read, they can write, and express themselves.
Happiness Ikire is 37 years old. Like millions of people who did not have the opportunity to go to school within their school age, Happiness, who could not read or write, has utilized the opportunity offered by the Adult Literacy Program.
Started with my cleaner, that I don't have any job. Then I across one of the doctor, so he now asked me, say, can I join this so that I can be able to speak? So from then, since then, my life has changed. I can read and write.
People that had never had the experience, when they write for the first time and you take it, they are overwhelmed with joy. They are excited.
It is said that a literate society is a better disenfranchised or become liabilities. This informed the interest of countries the world over towards ensuring literacy for all. Nigeria is not an exception, as it has, in collaboration with UNESCO, taken necessary steps to revive its adult literacy program. Some of the major challenges of the program are funding and dearth of facilitators.
Literacy program of the federal government at the federal level is doing well. The challenge is, one, facilitators. We don't have trained facilitators in the field of adult literacy.
Since the interest to learn is there, observers say that government has more to do in terms of funding and provision of more adult literacy centers, particularly in rural areas, so as to make them more accessible to those in need of the facilities. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
It's cheering news for the Nigerian traveling public as a new airline, Air Peace, debuts. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has issued the airline air operators a certificate to begin full scheduled domestic operation. The authority's acting Director General, Benedict Adeleka, who issued the certificate in Lagos, said NCAA is impressed with the quality of aircrafts and structures put in place for maintenance of their fleets. Vera Chumba has more.
Air Peace Airline, modeled after Southwest Airline of US, its management says is starting operations on a very solid foundation, promising to become Nigeria's airline of choice, providing unique travel experience with adherence to safety and technical regulations to run a successful airline. The airline has 7 aircraft in its fleet for scheduled domestic operations and charter services. It has acquired quality spare parts for aircraft maintenance ahead of operations. NCA Acting Director General says the airline has demonstrated capacity and competence, having met all requirements in record time.
What we're saying to the members of the public, this airline is safe to operate. They have been tested both financially, technically, and in quality, and that they can operate the airline safely.
Chairman of Air Peace says, apart from total commitment to safety and security of air travelers, the airline also aims to create job opportunities for Nigerians.
We have zero tolerance for unsafe practices. That is why we put in place a good maintenance organization is in charge of our maintenance. We have beautiful airplanes, very sound airplanes. We want to engender the practice of taking the safety culture very serious in this country.
With the issuance of Air Operator Certificate to Air Peace Airline by the NCAA, the airline is set to change the course of aviation in Nigeria. In Lagos, Vera Chumuba, NTA News.
Still in Lagos, we bring you what is happening in the business world with Abdullahi as our guide.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on Business News. My name is Abdullahi Mohammed. The federal government has begun the process of converting the 23 industrial development centers across the country into micro, small and medium enterprise clusters. Abechi Pius reports that the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Olusegun Aganga, disclosed this at the Commerce and Industry Correspondents of Nigeria Business Forum in Lagos.
The industrial development centers were before now incubation and capacity building centers. Dr. Olusegun Aganga told the media that following President Goodluck Jonathan's approval, work has commenced to provide infrastructural facilities and financing aimed at creating an enabling environment for small businesses to thrive.
We know they have issues in terms of financing. We know they have issues in terms of cost of operation. We know that they have issues in terms of market access. We know that they have issues in terms of research and technology. So all those areas are the areas that the new council that was established by Mr. President will be addressing.
The minister explained that the relevant agencies of government, such as the Bank of Industry, the Standards Organization of Nigeria and Industrial Training Fund, are already registering their presence at the zones.
They will have electricity, they will bring down their cost of production, they will have water.
President Goodluck Jonathan had on Thursday last week inaugurated the National Council on Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises to reposition the sector for job and wealth creation. In Lagos, Abechi Pius, NTA News.
And here are details of transactions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. Transaction on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed today with the all-share index up 0.04% to close at 40,885.40 point, leaving market capitalization at 13.50 trillion. A total of 386.57 million shares were sold, valued at 3.79 billion in 51,193 deals. Ikeja Hotels gained 9 kobo, while premium breweries followed to add 17 kobo to the value of its shares. Top on the losers list was Costain West Africa. It shared 7 kobo. RC Briscoe followed to depreciate by 5 kobo. That's Business News tonight. News Extra continues shortly.
22 artists, 44 collaborations,
5 countries, 9 episodes.
Coke Studio, baby.
Catch Coke Studio Africa Season 2 every Saturday from the 13th of September at 7 p.m. on AIT.
Just a quarter cup of jig in the water will get school uniforms whiter, and it is the tough stain fighter that will get your whites much brighter. Just Jiggins! Pot puree and lemon. Just Jiggins! Hey, you better go get it! Now available in lemon and pot puree fragrances, the newest and freshest way to jig it.
Auntie!
Hello, my dear. I see you went shopping with your mom, right? And what did you buy?
Power oil. It has 0 cholesterol and 0 trans fats. And contains vitamin A and natural vitamin E. It's a healthy oil for healthy family.
I'll buy Power Oil next time I go shopping, huh?
Power Oil. Healthy for you.
Enjoy the fruity milk nourishment, available in orange, apple, and pineapple flavors. G-Fruit and Smart Fruit Milk Drink.
From the House of Chi.
KwaZulu Natal. Tough to say, even tougher to drive. Sounds like one for the Ranger. Out here, even when the road stops, it just keeps on going. And even way down, it keeps powering on. Built for any challenge. Ford Ranger.
Introducing the great tasting new Mini-Me Chin Chin. Rich in yummy ingredients like milk, butter, and wheat.
Mini-Me, crunchy. Mini-Me, tasty.
Playful, cheerful, joyful, very big. Break the boredom with the unique taste of Mini-Me Chin Chin.
Like my Mini-Me, yeah.
You're back on NTA News Extra. It is generally believed that increased productivity and decent employment are part of the keys to lasting solutions on poverty. To achieve higher productivity, the Ministry of Labour is collaborating with social sector partners to train workers on the techniques of achieving that. Correspondent Emmanuel Anyimiro reports.
Over the past 2 decades, the level of national productivity in the country has been on the decline, particularly that of employees' output due to low capacity. The Ministry of Labour is saying that with effective skills development system, increased productivity will continue to take place, leading to improved standard of living and growth.
How do you maximize the combination of resources in the input process to ensure that there is higher output? It has to do with skills, it has to do with habits, it has to do with knowledge, and it has to do with methods.
We are just having it at the national level. We want to sell it to the state and to the local government.
Since the policy on productivity sets the tone for quality service delivery in both the formal and informal sectors, the International Labour Organization, ILO, wants the fundamental principles that guide workers' right to be respected, which will go a long way to reduce strife in the workplace.
Achieving decent work, which means that the workers should access to social protection, their rights should be protected.
While more emphasis are being placed on higher productivity, the social partners want good working conditions to be put in place to motivate workers to contribute their best. In Abuja, Emmanuel Anyimiro, NTA News.
We continue to put in our best, Emmanuel. Stakeholders at an interfaith summit have attributed social and economic stagnation of most states in Nigeria to lingering violence, extremism, and selfish interest by politicians and religious leaders. This was the consensus at the Interfaith Dialogue for Peace and Security in Nigeria held in Kaduna. Correspondent Sulaiman Abdullahi Rigachuku has the details.
For more than 3 years, the challenge of terrorism in some states of the Federation has continued to cripple the socio-economic fortunes of affected states, especially in the northeastern part of Nigeria. The situation necessitated a series of meetings cutting across various socio-cultural groups, including the dialogue meeting, which is under the auspices of Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, and United Nations Development Program that brought together religious leaders, security personnel, and other stakeholders to find a lasting solution to the challenge. Speakers at the summit were unanimous that the country is at the most unfortunate stage of insecurity, hence commitment by all to assist security agencies fight the menace.
In the past, we witnessed various cases of extremism in the name of religion. Both the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran preach peace.
Nigerians are people of religion, but unfortunately are not religious people. Stop pretending. Let's face it, we have a government in our hands.
Why are you allowing the religion to be violent? Because of the government they want to remain as in power.
We should agree that Nigeria cannot continue to survive and grow without peace and security.
Governor Mukhtar Malayuro of Kaduna State advised Nigerians to have a change of attitude to attain the desired peace.
As a religious leader, you should know that you are supposed to be the light.
Like the previous meetings held on peace and security in Nigeria, the Interfaith Dialogue is expected to provide a formidable platform for achieving lasting peace in Nigeria. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachuku, NTA News.
The growing trend on cybercrime in Nigeria poses serious concern to the national economy. Stay with us for an update on these and other stories when we return.
Association of Nigeria Point State Cordial invite His Excellency Chief Engineer Dave Umahi, Deputy Governor and spouse, the Speaker Point State of Assembly, Right Honorable Chukuma Wazunko and spouse, Chief Judge, Right Honorable Justice Aloy Nwankwo and other brother judges, the State Executive Council members and their spouses, Chairman of 13 local government areas and their coordinators, traditional rulers, security chiefs, Chairman of all political parties and members of business community in the state, members of CAN in all the 13 local government areas, and indeed all Christians in the state to the year 2014 Annual Fasting and Prayer Summit as scheduled below. Date, Thursday, 11 September 2014. Time is 11 a.m. prompt. Venue, Women Development Center, Abakaliki. Guest speaker, Apostle Dr. Zili Agre. Special guest of honor, Their Excellencies Chief Martin N. Elechi, CON, and spouse. Signed, Reverend Dr. Scott Mwokolo, State Secretary, Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Onshie, Chairman Khan, Ebonyi State.
In line with his transformation agenda, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, through the Federal Ministry of Health, has declared zero tolerance for counterfeit medicines and other unwholesome regulated products. In fulfillment of this mandate, NAFDAC has intensified efforts with the massive arrest of counterfeiters, seizure of unwholesome products, and prosecution of offenders across the country. Our traditional rulers have affirmed their full support for this crusade.
The job being done by NAFDAC is indeed very, very remarkable. That is in terms of ensuring good drug. Any fake drug now, people are becoming aware of it.
We are very happy. I am particularly happy about what NAFDAC has been doing.
Support NAFDAC to rid the country of all counterfeit and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Experience Kasna.
home of a vibrant history, a culture of pride and peace. Centuries of tradition have built a solid foundation.
Invest in Katsina.
The future is here. Opportunity is everywhere. Nestled in northwest Nigeria, it's the home of untapped resources, solar and wind energy, and solid minerals.
Grow Katsina.
From the fertile land and the seeds of potential, grow cotton, corn, rice, and livestock. Katsina is the breadbasket for Nigeria and the region, home to the most important resource of all, our people.
Explore Katsina's potentials. Come invest in Katsina.
Yawa, Tan National Rally. Yanzu Seno Central Zone Kenan. Everybody will like a better thing from Benue, Kwara, Niger, Plateau, Kogi, Nasarawa, or Abuja. The Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, and Greater Dukambo, make we come together for Trade Fair Complex at Pike Road, Mena, Niger State. Inshallah, on Saturday, 13 September 2014, wonderful people of the North Central Zone, to say thank you to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan for all the transformational activities in the North Central States. Kuma to join other Nigerians and say Kachigaba, the Southeast don't do am, Southwest they don't do am, South Kuma they don't do am. Haba! For North Central Zone, we go do our own very special Gaskia Tan North Central Zone Rally 2014, the grandfather of all rallies. Saturday, September 13, 2014, Trade Fair Complex, Pike Road, Mena, Niger State. Me, I go there. You know fit miss am.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. TAN, for one vision, Nigeria.
If you're just joining us, this is News Extra on NTA, Africa's largest television network. The recent flood disaster in Gombe State has been described as the worst ever in recent times. Gombe State Governor Dr. Ibrahim Hassan Dankabo said this while on an inspection visit to ascertain the devastating effects of the last Friday flood in Gombe State capital. Correspondent Usman Aliu has the details.
Victims of Gombe recent Friday flood cleared the debris and reclaimed their houses. 4 dead bodies, including a child, 18-year-old Kamaluddin Usman Adamu, 2 elders were buried while 2 persons are still missing. Gombe State Governor, who was out of the state for official engagement when the incident happened, shared the grief with those who lost their loved ones. He also visited areas in Gombe metropolis worstly affected by the flash flood. As at now, Gombe State Emergency Management Agency is compiling number of houses destroyed. Meanwhile, some infrastructure such as roads, rail line, erosion control drainages were badly affected. However, this man, Aliu Abbare, said because of Gombe State government's intervention on erosion control, his area have been saved of the effect of the flood.
Nothing happened here. There was no tsunami, no nothing, because of these drainages that have been established.
Governor Dankombo said though federal government has been supporting Gombe State to tackle its environmental challenges, more still is required.
While we are doing our best, we want well-meaning individuals, federal government and NGOs, including international organizations, to come to our aid to address these issues of ecology. They are very simple issues but requires funding.
According to Gombe State Governor, President Jonathan has also ordered quick intervention on the repair of about 2-kilometer Gombe-Bauchi road washed away by the recent flood.
If this road cuts, the commerce that is linking Gombe, Bauchi or Northeast and Cameroon and Chad and Niger to the remaining part of Nigeria is cut off.
In Gombe, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
On the quest for leadership of selfless service, Imo State Governor Owele Okorocha wants leaders at all levels to endeavor to leave indelible legacies on the signs of time. The governor said this while inaugurating the Imo State Liaison Office in Abuja, completed by his administration. Correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
Named after the first civilian governor of the state, late Chief Sam Mbakwe, Governor Rochas Okorocha enjoined Nigerians to always elect visionary leaders who have the ability to bring about the desired positive change in the society. The governor described the project as an indicator of various developmental projects in his rescue mission ongoing in Imo State. He urged Nigerians to support All Progressive Congress APC in the 2015 general election.
This project was an abandoned project for 17 years. And unfortunately, government upon government never saw the need to complete this project. When I came in, I saw this. I said, this mountain must be removed.
Dignitaries, including National Chairman of APC, John Oyegun, and former military governor of Imo State, retired Colonel Tanko Zubero, who led the foundation stone of the project in 1997, commended the governor for realizing the project.
You people got your priorities right. Once corruption goes, in a state like Imo, which does not boast of major oil resources, then your governor has been able to achieve the wonderful deeds that he achieved.
Made me to believe that if you continue like that, you will set a record.
Igbo people are rejoicing, not because that they dream of having a befitted laws in office since 1990 have been fulfilled, but they're also happy because they now have an operational base from where the Imo State government could unlock the potentials of the people for the socio-economic development of the state and the nation at large. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Participants at the 2014 World Water Week held exhibition of water projects and resources, a platform for exchange of ideas, experiences, and practices. Karian Umayo reports that water and energy actors focused primarily on collaboration and partnerships in the areas of information development and decision support systems.
Water and sanitation sustainability as a political priority came to the front burner at the World Water Week. It was chaired by Minister of Water Resources, Mrs. Sarah Ochepe, who noted that Nigeria has established coordinated energy and water policies and governance, plus far-reaching contacts with experts, business innovators from around the globe for faster new thinking in water management. There was an exhibition by the Nigerian delegation.
We believe that other countries of the world, and particularly African countries that are here, can come and learn from the enormous work that we're doing in Nigeria.
At a meeting on energy, water and food nexus, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Power, Ambassador Godnose Zigali, requested Swedish business community to take advantage of the transformation in Nigeria to invest in the water sector as part of private sector involvement in water management in Africa.
So our question was, how can we collaborate to see that Nigeria, which is so well endowed in terms of water resources, how do we cooperate? Let the Swedish company, Vattenfall, which presented, how do we have such companies come to Nigeria and participate?
So you need private sector financing, you need private sector management, you need private sector expertise, to move the water forward and then to drive the energy for Nigeria.
24th World Water Week took an overall systems view of how nations can develop and manage water and energy for the good of societies and ecosystems at local, national, regional, and international levels, and avoid the unintended consequences of narrow sectoral approaches. In Stockholm, Sweden, Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Cybercrime, usually associated with computers and the internet, has become a fast-growing trend of crime in Nigeria and the world over. Chimaobi Watanaji takes a look at the threat posed by cybercrime in the society.
With the vast development comes various categories of crime meted on unsuspecting users of the internet. Cybercrime cuts across bullying, internet hacking, scams, among others. Though some persons have fallen victim of this crime through fake internet dating, some respondents seem to be unaware of the threats posed by these internet bullies.
Let them be sure of the person they speak to in the chat with, and the person they talk to, and they should confirm very well before doing any transaction or any business with them.
Some others who are aware of this type of crime and have taken adequate measures to guard against falling victim say cybercrimes in the country could not be unconnected to unemployment, poverty, and corruption.
First of all, we seek for rearrange attitudinal change, first of all, of our youth. These are the skills that the government, ICT center, can still channel in a way how to help the country. There are many ways you can prevent that, you understand, like ISP. You understand? There is a way an ISP can track down fraudsters.
It was, however, the general consensus of respondents that network providers in Nigeria put adequate measures in place to checkmate the excesses and activities of these internet bullies. In Enugu, Chimobi Walter.
Nigeria's potentials in tourism is said to be close to $4 billion annually if effectively harnessed. Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, NTDC, Mrs. Sally Unwiche Mbanefo, gave this assessment while speaking as a guest on NTA's Current Affairs program platform.
We want an NTDC beyond looks, an NTDC that has depth, an NTDC that will create revenue for Nigeria, an NTDC that will create jobs, that will come up with projects where the youth are employed. There is a tourism value chain. And what that means is that tourism touches everything. It's like a centrifugal force that just as it goes around, it touches everything.
For more on NTDC and its challenges of harnessing Nigeria's potentials in tourism, join us on NTA platform on Thursday at 2 in the afternoon. Sports update and events around the globe will be next after the break. Do stay with us.
You don't do. I don't tire for all the things where you dey yarn.
You dey yarn okpata. Shey you think say na only you fit buga? I go show you.
You dey show yourself all these years. I just dey look you. This time you go know the kind of person we are.
I been dey watch as you dey try scatter my future.
The future where I dey try organize for myself, small. Na him you dey try kill, abi?
Na to kill, scatter, and destroy my parole always do your agenda, abi? Oh, but you know fit, not this time.
I don't set my own agenda.
I know how way your agenda go fit past my agenda.
Because my agenda strong past your agenda.
For this election, the agenda now.
It's our future.
No violence.
Just vote.
Set the agenda for this election. No violence, just vote.
Bragging is not President Goodluck Jonathan's style, so you'd hardly hear him brag about all the great things he is doing for Nigeria. He wouldn't tell you he's the first president to privatize power, to give us a constant supply of electricity and economic prosperity. Soon your electricity will be like your mobile phones, 24 hours, 7 days a week. He won't brag about security, new roads, new rail, or new airports. Eliminating corruption in agriculture and saving $25 billion per year, mass housing projects, or that our economy is growing at the fastest rate in the world. He wouldn't brag about any of it because he knows there's a lot more to be done. Mr. President, right on. We that are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Moving on to the last lap of News Extra on NTA this Wednesday evening. Gambia President Yahya Jammeh asked to reject anti-gay law as Chinese Premier urges dialogue in regional conflicts. These are more on global tidbits with Talatu Ezerike.
Reports say leading rights groups have called on Gambia president not to approve tough new anti-gay legislation. Meanwhile, homosexual acts are already illegal in the country. From Liberia, the country's defense minister says Liberia is facing a serious threat with the deadly Ebola virus that spreads like wildfire, calling for more support. Still on Africa, South African court sentences Rwanda exile attackers to 8 years imprisonment. In China, The country's premier has called for the world to peacefully solve regional conflict and hotspot issues through dialogue, stressing that China is resolute in following the Pact of Peaceful Development. On Afghanistan, presidential candidate Ashraf held news conference following power-sharing government deal deadlock with his rival Abdullah to end the deadlock in the disputed presidential election. That is all on Global Tidbits. Talati Ezerike, NTA News.
And sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles have picked their first point in the ongoing AFCON qualifiers just over an hour ago. The Eagles played out a goalless draw against Bafana of South Africa in Cape Town. Congo leads the group with 6 points following 2-0 victory over Sudan. For more sports, here is an update.
South Africa's hope of beating Nigeria in a competitive football match still remains a dream as the two countries played goalless in a Group A Morocco 2015 Nations Cup qualifier decided in Cape Town. The South Africans played their best in a fast-paced game, but Nigeria, the defending champions, held their own to share the spoils with their hosts. With this result, South Africa have 4 points while Nigeria have 1 point. On the Group A table, Congo beat Sudan 2-0 to top the table with 6 points, followed by South Africa on 4 points. Nigeria are third, while Sudan are fourth. In other results, Malawi beat Ethiopia 3-2, while the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire fell to the Lions of Cameroon 4-1. Sierra Leone lost 0-2 to Democratic Republic of Congo. With Sports News Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
The chief physician to the president, Dr. Fortune Fiberesima, has announced on behalf of the Fiberesima family the passing on to glory of their father, Mr. David Peter Fiberesima, on September 3rd, 2014, at the age of 86. Until his death, the late Pa Fiberesima worked at various times as court messenger in the State Customary Court and court bailiff in the Ministry of Justice before retiring in 1987 as a revenue collector in the Internal Revenue Division of the Rivers State Ministry of Finance. A statement from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Publicity and Media, Ruben Abati, the burial program of Pa Fiberesima will be announced later by his family. And the death has also occurred of Madam Florence Chukwuevo, a notable woman and community leader in Afikpo North local government area of Ebonyi State. Madam Florence Chukwuevo, who died at the age of 75, will be laid to rest on Friday, 12th September 2014 in her residence at Amago, Ngoro Village, Afikpo, after a funeral service at St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Afikpo. There will be Christian wake-up on Thursday, September 11. Madam Florence L.M. Chukwuevo is survived by children, including Justice Evers Stephen Chukwu of the Federal High Court, Abuja. And before we take a leave, it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And with that, we conclude NTA News Extra. Thanks for being there. Do have a very pleasant night rest. Good night.
Boundaries and Transit on the network service of the NTA every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Don't miss it.
NTA. You can't beat the rich.
Fascinating Nigeria.
Africa's biggest market. Extraordinary, fascinating Nigeria.
Has wasted many lives and destroyed valuable property.
We are in a season when we all need to come together and agree to have peace. Peace comes from God, but peace also comes to men and women who say to themselves, we believe in a country, we believe in one another, we believe that we can live together, irrespective of our tribes, irrespective of our religion.
It's for all of us now to wake up, tighten our belts more, push insecurity out of the lives of our people, and have a very stable, free, and developed society where everybody will know that yes, I'm free to live my life.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, moving forward together.
This message is brought to you by Nigeria Rebirth Initiative.
This local government will now take us serious. For anybody who not just hold the motor, 50,000, 50,000.
Come on from the guy. Come on from the guy. Come on. 50,000.
The National Committee Against Touting, NCAT, is arresting anyone who collects levies, tax on mountain roadblock, as this is contravening the law. So together, let's work towards a tout-free public, Nigerian ports, highways, motor garages, and protect our travelers, investors, and transporters. Let's say no to touting any day, anywhere, and anytime. NCAT, keeping security watch on touts and criminals. This message is from the Office of the National Director of Operations, National Committee Against Touting, NCAT, Abuja.
Nigeria needs peace and stability. Achieve our goals in unity. We are brothers and sisters, we've lived together for years now. Say no to violence now. Sing it with me.
Peace, peace, peace. Let's all embrace peace.
We are brothers and sisters, we've lived together for years now.
Say no to violence now.
No religion preaches violence. We need understanding and tolerance. You can be you, I can be me, that's the way it should be. Say no to violence now. Sing it one more time.
Peace, peace, peace. Let's all embrace peace.
In the family and schools, at work, everywhere.
Say no to violence now.
This is the network service of the NTA.
At most boundary cities and transit settlements, it's usually the case of endless, non-pleasing noise to the eardrum from tankers, trailers, cars, motorbikes, lorries, people and their interests, commodities, as well as daily struggle for survival. The crew of Boundary City and Transit is, however, here to quiet all that noise and help you make a sense of it all, wherever that may be in Nigeria, as long as it is a boundary city or a transit settlement, like right here where we are, Mokwa in Niger State. Welcome. Come with us. Structured in a homogeneous pattern to ensure maximum spatial interaction and nullify the concept of acute paucity of face-to-face interaction, as it is the case with most metropolitan cities. The friendliness in structural living patterns could be traced to the origin of the town. For most cities, however, the origin could be traced to one person, either a hunter, a witch doctor, or a defiant renegade evading persecution. For Mokwa, the case is slightly different, as it is said to have been founded by two great hunters who were friends.
Mokwa became into existence by the settlement of two hunters. Those are the two people that started Mokwa, and then gradually people came in, and then it was in a scattered settlement. Our main occupation in this town is farming and hunting. Farming is still the main occupation of Mokwa till date. After the settlement of these first families, and then the Yorubas came in. They came in from Sudan. The first group of Yorubas went to Oyo. Those are the people that founded Oyo today. The second group of Yorubas settled in this town. It was the interaction between the Yorubas and the Nupes that owns the town. That was how the name Mokwa becomes about. Because when the Yorubas are greeting us in the morning and says, and they want to ask about your welfare, they say, Omo Inko. But the Nupes, since they don't know what they are saying, they will reply them, Mokwa. And then the Yorubas started calling the Nupes Mokwa. That is how Mokwa become into existence. Mokwa, we call it mini Nigeria. Mokwa have been in existence since 1000 AD.
From 1000 AD to the present time, Mokwa has developed from a sedentary settlement started by two great hunters to a town of rich mixed diverse culture while maintaining its original heritage of hunting. Naturally, hunting will have been the mainstay for socio-economic development since the town was founded by not one but two great hunters. Population increase and modernity, however, brought forth different scales of demand in terms of food, shelter, commerce, and social structure necessary for staying in tune with the dynamics of fast-growing global environment. Hunting alone could not have developed the town to the extent of its present status. Food and its attendant ways of servicing people led the people to embrace agriculture on one hand. And on the other hand, the town's natural given location along River Niger's tributary near Jebba, and more recently as a boundary city between Niger and Kwara states, opened it up to different people, cultures, and especially commerce.
Wow. You see, Mokwa as a town will control a large portion of land in Niger State. So being so populous is rather increasing the economic benefit of these people. We have a very large market. Formerly, it used to be Saturdays. Now, except Sunday, it's everyday market. People come from the north, people come from the south, and business is booming all over. In fact, that is why we have a lot of Nigerians in Mokwa today. Mokwa is peaceful, business is there. If you do your thing loyally, nobody asks you.
We are invited to come to Mokwa, one of the veritable settlements in Niger State, and centrally located. You could go to Ilori in Najifi, you can go to Kaduna in the same manner. So it's a center. It's a center where people converge, and it becomes an international trading center because you have lots of vehicles coming with goods from Niger Republic, Chad, and all these places, and they find a transit spot in Mokwa. So also from the southern part of the country. You know, when they say kola nuts bring people together, you find a section in that area of Mokwa where you have people come to buy kola nut. They don't need to go down to Ibadan, down to Shagamu and all those places. They can stay in Mokwa and do their enterprise and businesses. Perhaps when you want to add value to the cattle, you know, if you talk to veterinary doctors, they tell you, yes, we need to have centers where perhaps we add value to these cattle. Maybe we slaughter them, you do a lot of things. It provides a good haven for traders.
This could be deduced from the depth of enterprise the women of Mokwa exhibit. They have formed progressive groups and they engage in the processing of melon seeds and groundnut.
Lando chida na ungo ma mwede kondo cha so gwamnati uye wa bin bai jire ina lanza gyeji ala de mo gani be kwen tunne na so ji temako gani be injinin ci kwe na ga waye kan ya ajin wala ya tunna biya na gwamnati yawa temako gangani biyu.
When the men are not on the farms, they are either driving commercial cars or ensuring orderliness at the motor parks, as transport business is a gold mine here due to the town's location as a major boundary city and transit settlement leading to the north and central parts of Nigeria, as well as some cities down south. This is Maraba here at Mokwa local government area in Niger State. And the direct translation of Maraba in Hausa means boundary. Now, the road behind me sees the movement of goods, services, and other essential commodities up north via Kwantagora to Kaduna, Kano, Gusau, up to Sokoto. On this other route, you can reach the southeast and the south-south via the north-central through Lokoja. Road in front of me will take you to the southwest, where Jebba South is very close here, down to Lagos. Now, this is an ecological grading that sees the quick transfer of goods, services, and essential commodities throughout Nigeria, right from Mokwa. Whether it is passenger movement or merchandise and other goods haulage to different parts of the country. Transport business is a must-do for those who can afford it. Not even a slightly fractured motor park deters operators and passengers alike.
Garage ya bumo banije lano nga babana tai wana no ezona ide da garage ya bona ezona idokuna ye wagan government to support you la garage abo yaji mi tsona me ke gaga gida na mi de ko da garage abo chi amala yin tegina mi o.
Well, from this not so comfortable motor park, something that seemed to have evolved into a musical franchise started. From this slightly fractured motor park here in Mokwa, Sibombo started a few years ago. And today, celebrations across Nupeland and other parts of the country and even beyond are considered complete.
And the people there are predominantly farmers and well educated, and especially, you know, the system in Niger State, we give education a very good, tremendous priority, and trade and industry too. And the Nupe people and the dessert mixture of them, and the Yoruba people and the Hausa people, everybody is there. You could pick Mokwa to be a center of cauldron of national unity. You never hear any squabbles, community problems. People live in peace and harmony and peaceful coexistence. They come together, they intermarry. You could see Mokwa and take it an example of what we need today as a nation, that we need to come together and be our brother's keeper, as it were.
In the midst of a bustling pedigree brought to bear on the town by its natural location, which attracted people, cultures, and commerce, some social vices are apparent within the town. The presence of these trailers, tankers, as well as their operators have attracted women of easy virtue to the area.
From Ibadan to Mina. Now I there for Makwa. I rest, I wash my motor. Tomorrow in the morning, inshallah, I move to go to Mina.
There's problem here. There's the Lagos, there's Makwa. It's time for this. Any Makwa, because it's a you are there saying Oloring, you pay the Makwa, you are there 24 hours.
we have one big point, that is the sawmill. By the time you go there in the night, you can count up to over 1,000 trailers in the night. All the tankers, and then we have there, we see, although Niger State government have a law that banned highlighting in Niger State, but there's nothing you can do. You will see them.
The women are, however, having a hard time earning a living from their chosen trade. While multicultural societies are all over the world, especially in the Western societies, community living has always been the hallmark of African societies, and Mokwa is not an exception.
There have been this cordial relationship that I met, because we treat people as an individual. Here, we treat people as an individual. We don't treat people in terms of tribe or religion, but your behavior. We don't treat people as an indigene or strangers, but your behavior. For example, if an indigene, the son of the soil, decided to go and attack or offend a stranger, definitely we don't side the son of the soil, we side the truth.
Although the world is facing many security challenges today, attempting to erode that community spirit, Mokwa remains a relatively peaceful settlement over time. What is the secret?
The elders, the kingmakers are all out, listening to everything that is happening in the town. And if there is trouble or something is brewing that will not bring harmony into the town, they quickly inform me. I have my informants, and I used to note it at the board. That is, we call people together, we discuss, and through that, you'll find out that we have a good relation. And even if Nigeria, there was a time Nigeria was in turmoil. The Yorubas were here, the Igbos were here, and I told them not to go to anywhere.
Mokwa community is a commercial nerve center of the state of Niger State. Mokwa community is cosmopolitan in nature. Mokwa has international markets where people from Niger Republic, Benin Republic come to trade. So Mokwa community means so much to the people of Niger State. And you find different people from different parts of the country there. Nupe is a predominant language, but people outside Igbo, Yorubas are well represented in Mokwa.
Nigeria is a land of many contrasts, a land of many bounties, and a land of many historical antecedents, where people come together with common interests, common projections for life. And Mokwa stands as one of those settlements in this great country that make up Nigeria. It's a scenario that is created there that everybody belongs. Nobody driving anybody out of that place. It's a kind of a microcosm of Nigeria where everybody is there. It's just like in your Lagos or in Minna itself. You have Yoruba, you have Nupe, you have all kinds of people living together in peace and harmony. They may have the lingua franca to be like Hausa, Nupe, or Yoruba. You find people speaking three languages, those three major languages in United States.
I've been here in Mokwa for 7 years, and this particular Mokwa is a good place to be, a beautiful place, a place that everything is very cheap, a place that there is peace. Nothing like running helter-skelter. Is a place that you will like to be. That is why I like it. And the indigene of this town is a very peaceful people. They don't need any problem. They want everybody that is here to be peace with them. So that is why I'm here. There is Hausa here, Igbo, Yoruba, and even TV and other tribe here. Even Fulani, they are here. So everything is very, in short, I like to be here.
He almost missed out on a prospective customer while speaking to us. He had to pace up to meet up. For the people here, life and living has been one great web of friendly reciprocity, and everything is being done to maintain the status quo. See you at our next boundary city or transit settlement. Bye from all of us.
I promise to respect the office of the president and the occupier of the office of the president, whoever they may be. Over the years, we have seen our illustrious sons become presidents of this great nation. Today, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is our president. And because he encourages the freedom of speech, Nigerians can speak freely no matter their opinion. But let us remember that respect for the office of the president is the civic responsibility of every Nigerian. So, respect our president today, and if tomorrow you become president, we promise to respect you.
This message is brought to you by Community Awareness and Development Network, Kawan.
I thank you, yeah. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Emeka. Thank you, Sade. Thank you, Allah. We can never repay you, but from our hearts we like to say that we thank you. Our soldiers, our agents, our airmen, our officers, we can never repay you, but from our hearts we like to say that we thank you. We can never repay you for the legs lost. We can never repay you for the arms lost. We can never repay for the lives lost. But from our hearts, from our hearts, well done, well done. Yes, yes, oh dear.
For Nigeria, the tides are changing indeed, and for the better. Enduring signposts of this transformation abound for all to see. The revival of the railways after nearly 20 years of abandonment is apparent. Food security is being vigorously promoted with subsidized agricultural inputs now more accessible to farmers. Add this to the remodeling of the nation's airports and the ongoing construction of 5 new international airport terminals, and you're assured that the tides are indeed changing. Take a look at Nigeria's auto assembly plants, formerly dormant, now springing back to life. For more vivid insights into these indices of change, tune into the network service of the NTA 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday for Changing Tides, an incisive magazine program on the remarkable strides of a new era. Don't miss it.
Security now everybody business Nigerians. Say your neighbor make it look well. Shine your eyes, my people. Oh, them know the right time for face you.
We no need to shed innocent blood on top of nothing before we go talk within the pain us for our mind. We government they encourage dialogue to resolve any conflict. Or you call them conflict resolution. Make we stop this killy. Make we stop this violence. Nigerians, make we shine our eyes. They look waiting with neighbors they do because government no fit do am alone. Security na everybody business. So therefore, whether na for street, motor park, garage, inside mosque or church, even safe bus stop, I beg, shine your eyes. Look waiting people they do around you. If you see anybody with Wakakuru movement around you, I beg, Kia report them to any security agent within near you. And the phone number to call simple. No matter the line, just dial 112 with any network. No forget the number to dial now 112 with any network. And security agent go land their fiam. Life no get duplicate.
Shine your eyes, my people. Oh, them know the right time for face you.
This message now from National Orientation Agency.
This is the network service of the NTA.
This is a New Age Network presentation.
Hello Nigeria, welcome to House Ticket. I am your anchor Amrit Mohammed Baba. Do you know that aside lawmaking, there are other provisions in the Constitution for the legislature to intervene on matters arising in the polity with a view to achieving good governance? One of these provisions makes engagement with stakeholders by lawmakers an avenue to resolve issues and take definite decisions. These various engagements shall be our focus tonight on House Ticket as we recap some of these meetings with Nigerians as well as other stakeholders by the 7th House of Representatives, aimed at bringing about a people-oriented democracy. Stay tuned for the details shortly.
Nigeria is a project in process. It starts with the people, giving voice to their convictions, through the election of worthy representatives. Now, the process is in motion. Meet Nigeria's representatives at